So thank you everybody again for taking time out of the day for the webinar. My name is Jeff Pauline. I am a product manager here at CATS and Top Echelon. We're going to kind of talk about the future of both platforms and the company itself. So without further ado, today's presentation is on the future of CATS. So you guys might have seen some emails or some LinkedIn posts from Top Echelon over the past few years. For those of you that don't know, CATS was acquired by Top Echelon in late 2020. They also make another applicant tracking system. You're probably familiar with it. It's called Big Biller. So yeah, over the past 4 years, we've kind of combined our resources. We've been diligently working to integrate the strengths of the CATS applicant tracking system with Top Echelon's Big Biller recruiting software. So our goal has been to create a unified platform that kind of leverages the strengths and the best features of both softwares. Um, so this collaboration has been ongoing for the past few years, and it is culminated in the development of the software I'm going to show you today. This is called TE Recruit or Top Echelon Recruit. It is going to be a brand new interface, and like I said, it has a lot of the features from CATS and Top Echelon kind of all rolled into one. Our hope is to provide a state-of-the-art applicant tracking system and CRM software that, yeah, like I said, kind of combines the strengths of both of them. So we'll get going here. We'll come on to the next slide. A couple of the benefits of TE Recruit that I mentioned before. It's going to be a refreshed user interface, reducing screen clutter, making it easy for you to find what you need to find quickly. The modern look will still be friendly and easy to use, just like CATS, just like Big Biller. Everything should be as customizable as you remember. That is something that we both pride ourselves on, is the flexibility and the customization options of the cards and the fields on the various record types. So all of that is still in place and actually improved on. And then yeah, we're working on new features to the software too. So I'm gonna kind of teasing the feature roadmap here, but we will be covering that shortly. Um, Further benefits of the software, like I mentioned, we did combine our development teams. So what this means for you is faster major feature releases. So you can expect, big features, big things getting added to the software at least every quarter. So oftentimes, multiple features will be added every quarter. And not to take away from those major feature releases, but we also have more bandwidth to respond to your requests and your improvement suggestions for the software. So we have baked in ways in the software where you can submit requests, submit little things that maybe are causing you an extra click or an extra 2 clicks to finish a task. And our goal is to make the software as easy to use as possible. So we have a dedicated team that kind of reviews all these feature requests, and we should be able to put out smaller quality of life improvements weekly almost. So um, look forward to that. And then another huge benefit, probably maybe the biggest benefit aside from the feature releases, is our unified and expanded support options. So with CATS right now, we are kind of limited to email support. We do scheduled trainings and things, but with the new platform, we have expanded the support team. We've got more resources to pull from. So we're proud to offer live phone support in addition to live chat in the software. So if you don't have time or you don't want to wait around for an email, or you're on another call, you could just pull up chat and chat with a support rep right from there. And then as always, we've got our awesome email support. Our goal is to respond to every email within an hour. I'd say 50-75% of the emails we get, we respond to within 15-20 minutes. But with the larger support team, we should be even faster than that. And then of course we'll continue to do scheduled trainings. You can always request a training, and we do weekly and monthly trainings in webinars. So look forward to that as well. Then lastly, this is kind of its own slide, but this is another benefit of the new platform, is the Top Echelon network. So for those of you unfamiliar with the network, it is a split placement network. So if you have an open job, somebody could submit a candidate to it. If you have a really placeable candidate, you can look for a job and split the commission with another recruiter. You can earn tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars extra every year by doing this. We have a lot of recruiters making placements every month. This is revenue that you wouldn't have gotten, if you weren't a member of the network. So, a couple of features of the network here. We have our split jobs database that has, thousands of open job orders. Um, you might be thinking, well, how old are these jobs? How, are they still recruiting for these jobs? We actually go and we purge the jobs every 3 months or after 3 months. So you can kind of have confidence that any job that you see in the split network is no older than 3 months. We have probably hundreds of jobs getting added every week. So in addition to the open job orders, there is a recruiting database, which is um, millions of blinded resumes. I looked at the number this morning. It was around 8 million or something like that. So very powerful tool for you to be able to search and find people maybe that would be a fit for one of your positions. And then baked into the software is the network itself. So in CATS, we have our network integration where you can kind of send a job to the top echelon network, but that's kind of all you can do. In the new platform, the network is, intertwined with the ATS. So any notifications or emails, any communication between you and recruiters is all logged into the software. Makes it really easy for you. When somebody starts working one of your jobs, you'll get a notification, and vice versa. If you submit a candidate to them, they'll get a notification in their software, and you guys can kind of collaborate through there. So and then lastly, kind of a little fun one is the network actually puts on yearly conferences and seminars. So they go to fun places like Florida, Arizona, and things. I think last time they just stuck a little closer to home and went to Chicago, but those always seem to be a huge hit with network members. And as a member of the network, you would be obviously invited to all of those as well. So just another benefit of our combined efforts here and the network itself. So we will finish this whole thing off with kind of a demo of the software, and I will make sure to kind of show you guys around the network. But right now, we're going to talk about the timeline itself for the new platform. Um, so first of all, we love early adopters. As a product manager, you guys are kind of our best friends. When we're working on a new feature, a new product, we love to show it off to customers and get their feedback on it. So you can help shape the future of the software if you want to by volunteering to jump into the new platform, poke around, and give us your thoughts, give us your feedback. Um, and we're not really using CATS as the guinea pig. Of course, we want your feedback coming from CATS and how the software might be a little different from CATS. That's something we're really looking forward. But we are having all of the big biller customers use the software first. So we opened it up to them last week, I believe, and we've already at least half of the customers of Big Biller have tried it already. That we're getting really positive feedback from them. So they're going to be kind of the first wave of people moving into it. We hope to have all of the Big Biller customers using the new UI and the new platform by the end of 2024. For CATS customers, we don't have a solid transition date quite yet, but we will be approaching a small group of customers to migrate, by early 2025. These are small, one to two person shops that we think, would benefit from moving to the platform, and we're hoping to get good feedback from them. So keep an eye out for emails from me or from the marketing team. We will be communicating pretty frequently with you guys over the next few months on this timeline and everything. So let's go to the feature roadmap. So I will show this off in the demo shortly, but I just wanted to lay it out here on the things that the team is working on. Our major focus right now is on AI. What we don't want to do is just add AI for the sake of adding AI, though. We are polling our customers, surveying them, asking for the best ways that you could use AI for recruiting. So we're kind of dipping our toes in the water right now with AI generated job descriptions. This will take key components of the job like the title, the salary, certifications, qualifications, things like that, and generate a job description. So hopefully this would help you get more applicants, get better quality applicants to make a more kind of engaging job description. And you can work with it, you can kind of massage it and tell the AI, try something else and things like that until you're happy with it. After that, we're going to be moving into email. Obviously, email is kind of the main way of communication in the software. We do offer text messaging, but email is never going away, and that's why we want to add AI to it. So this will help you write an email template or take an existing email template of yours and make it more engaging, make it more attractive to the recipient. So um, look for that coming soon. And then after that, we'd like to do candidate to job matching or job to candidate matching. How that's going to take place is we're going to be generating like a search string based off a job description or a search string based off of a candidate. So if you add a new job, you can generate a search string and then search your candidate database to find people that are a fit for that job, or vice versa. You add a new candidate, you search for jobs that candidate would be a good fit for. And eventually we'd like to do this automatically. So at first it'll be kind of a manual process using the search string to search your database, but eventually we'd like to kind of suggest and start suggesting jobs or candidates that match each other. So look forward to that. We're really excited about how that's going to play out. The next feature we've been working on is kind of an expansion on our existing automations feature, and that is email sequencing. For those of you that have used a CRM before, that is kind of the main feature of a CRM, or one of the main features, is the ability to enroll people in an email sequence. Say, day 1, day 3, day 7, or something like that, they get a new email. And, based on what the candidate or the contact does, we can branch off and, stop sending the emails or send them a different email. If they reply or if they click a link, we can take action and put them into a new sequence based on that. So what that does is it really kind of unlocks all of the automations and all of the true CRM capabilities of the software. For those of you familiar with the workflow in CATS, that is now known as automations in Top Echelon. The ability to send a templated email or a templated text message when you change a candidate's status. That's what automations do, and that's kind of what the workflow does in CATS. We want to kind of expand on that with email sequences. So more on that to come later, but just wanted to kind of give you a little preview of the feature roadmap that we're working on. Let's take a look at the platform. I have a question coming in. I'm just going to see if we have one. Will it resemble CATS or the Big Biller interface? Well, we can take a look. It is a little bit of both, honestly, right now. It's going to look a little bit more like Big Biller, but the interface has been overhauled to be a little bit more modern, like CATS. So if I jump to, let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen now. I am. Perfect. So this is the dashboard page of the new platform. So at the very top, we have this widget called the pipeline summary widget. This kind of gives you a glimpse into your open jobs in the software and where candidates are at in those jobs. So you can see, I have 12 people in the inbox for this job, 2 submitted, 2 phone interviews, and 5 placements. Keep in mind, this is a test site, so the data on the test site might be a little strange. Your jobs might not look like that, but what the goal is to kind of give you a glimpse of the kind of the health or the what's going on into a job and allow you to kind of jump right into it. You can click one of these numbers and go right to the job pipeline, take action on those submittals or those phone interviews or things like that. And then the goal obviously to move everybody to the end, or move at least one person to the end, and make a placement there. So that is the pipeline summary widget. You are able to filter it. You're able to kind of filter stages too. If maybe you don't care about some of these stages, you can go and get rid of those and clean it up a little bit. But we are really, really happy with this and obviously looking for more feedback on how we can make it better. But just kind of the cornerstone of the new dashboard here. At the bottom of the dashboard, we just have recent records, any people, companies, or jobs that you've recently visited, you can jump right to those. So, you come on in the morning and, you want to go right into that job that you were working on yesterday, you can jump right into it there. any notifications you've gotten. We do have notifications for a lot of things in the software. So, this is, deletes, account backups, at mentions, new applicants, anything like that will generate a notification. You can come in and manage those if you'd like. Um, Also have a little source widget up here showing, where your candidates have been coming from. You can filter it by date. Um, and then, just quickly see, where people are coming from here. We've got one from the careers page. We've got one from GitHub. One was shared with the network, a lot of them coming from LinkedIn. And then down on the bottom right, we have kind of just a summary of the records in the software. So any people that um, that you're the owner of, or you could click here to view all the people in the software. Something that I maybe forgot to mention off the start is um, people are just people in the new platform. There is no candidate or contact. They don't live in separate databases anymore. You can still mark somebody as a candidate or as a contact or a hiring authority or however you want to flag them. But at the end of the day, they are all still people. Somebody that is a client of yours could end up looking for a job someday and vice versa. So that is kind of one small change with the new software here. Let's go into the people page then. So we'll just click on people here. So now you guys can tell me if this looks more like Big Biller or more like Cats. Like I said, we did try to, modernize the interface, clean it up a little bit. A lot of the functionality is still there that you might recognize from Cats. You can use the checkboxes here to select people. You can then take action on those with the checkbox here. You can email them, add them to a list, add them to a pipeline, log activities, export them to spreadsheets and everything. So everything's kind of right there. And then preview is still kind of the same thing. You can click this little icon here to preview a record. By default, we're going to kind of show you the details of the person, but you could come down here and you could view the attachments to view their resume or anything else. And then the timeline is very similar to the Cats feed. So anything that, if you're familiar with the feed in Cats, this should be very familiar to you, kind of just a record of everything that's happened in the software. And then you can kind of go from person to person with the arrow keys and kind of move down the list here. So this should all be very familiar. And then adding people is very simple. You can do that with the add a person button here, or you can do it you can add really anything from the top bar. So that's kind of how you would add. One thing that might be a little different is how searching works. You can keyword search here. You can also search on title or location. And then we have a fancy little Boolean builder that is really powerful. Instead of typing out those intricate Boolean strings together, you can just kind of type keywords into the Boolean builder and we will generate a search string for you. So that's kind of a nice improvement. It's, if you forget a parentheses or forget a quotation mark while you're building your Boolean, it's not going to work. So you can take that headache away and kind of just focus on, the keywords here to build it yourself. What else did I want to show on this page? We wanted to look at find. I mean, if you're familiar with Cats, which you probably are, you can, search is right up here. So that's kind of the difference. In the same way it works in Cats, if you want to search your database for keywords, you can use the normal search here. But if you're just looking for somebody, like I'm just looking for somebody named Jeff, I can just start typing and it'll pull up kind of all the people, any companies or any jobs that that match that. So then obviously clicking that would take me right into it. So we'll go click on somebody here. Let's find a good candidate. And then this is kind of just the main person page. This should be familiar looking to you. These cards are kind of the same as Cats. You can collapse them if you don't need them. You can also drag and drop them around. So, maybe I want to put the contact information right at the top. I can kind of move that over here and drag it. And then we have kind of the same panel functionality that exists in Cats over on the right side. So I could see the timeline, I can see the resume, and I could see, any comments. I can also start emailing this person right from here. I can also log activities. So that is a slightly different, slightly different way of logging activities. Kind of in Cats, you can make tasks, you can make events, or you could just log activities. In the new platform here, it is kind of all the same thing. You can log an activity right now, or you can log an activity for later with the schedule activity. So if you want to do like a follow-up or something like that, you could log one and then schedule one for later. So you can also relate records. So this is a nice way to kind of tie things together. If you want to relate something to a job or relate, a person to another person, you can kind of link them with the related records here. And then the activity types are customizable. This is something we've heard from a lot of CATS customers, that they'd like to be able to change, what these activity types are. So you can kind of come in and make as many activity types as you want. And that way, when you're logging these activities, you can easily see, what it was and what happened there. So that is a nice improvement. Let's see. One thing I wanted to look at on the person card then is some kind of additional functionality with just the database itself. So if I scroll down, we have education here. Maybe I'll try and find a better example here. Maybe Caroline has a better education. She does. So we can see she's got a doctorate from a law school and then a bachelor's degree at UCLA. Clicking on the education card will let you expand it a little bit. You can see kind of when they graduated, the area of study, and then the degree level. So we have a lot of different degree levels in there. Basically anything you could think of would be available to choose from. So that's something that right out of the box, CATS doesn't do at all. So having the ability to search on education and actually store that education information is really nice. We actually have a little bit more information with salary too, current desired work type. So there's just a lot of those things that maybe you built out yourself with custom fields in CATS, are kind of standard in the new platform. So that's something to look forward to. Let's see. Not sure if there's anything else I wanted to look at on this page. There's, you guys are familiar with what a candidate record looks like. So just keep in mind a lot of this is, test information. So some of these cards are custom cards. You can make your own cards. You can make your own custom fields the same way you're familiar with doing in CATS already. Scrolling down, we have just a lot more of those example cards. So way too many to show today, but those are all basically just, cards we've made as examples while doing demonstrations of the software. Let's move into the jobs now. Jobs are going to be very similar to CATS, obviously. There's still a pipeline and everything where candidates start out as kind of a new candidate. In the platform here, we call that the inbox stage. So they come into the inbox and then you move them through the pipeline. So I just clicked on the AE job, which I believe is account executive, but we'll just keep it like that. And then clicking on the pipeline here will show you, this should be familiar to you from CATS. You have your inbox where you have kind of everybody that's come into the software, and then you can move them along in the hiring process via these buttons here. So these are kind of the same as their CATS statuses. You can disqualify somebody with the thumbs down. That will kind of move them to this disqualified tab. If I want to see everybody, I could just click here and see view all records. That way I'll be able to see, everybody that's in the software and what their status is. Obviously the preview still works here, so you can quickly preview a candidate, kind of see what's happened with the person. You can see any attachments on the record. And then, well, now I'm moving into the job itself, but let's see. Oh yeah, I did want to look at publishing too. So publishing is very similar to CATS. You can find that kind of down here in the advertise section. So obviously a job has to be posted to the careers page. That is the kind of the same feature as the CATS career portal. But then once it's published to the careers page, you're able to publish it out to a number of free job boards and then some paid job boards as well. So we can post to Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. We can post it to the network. You can share your job to the network if you're a network member. And then we have a number of free job boards as well as Indeed, Monster, LinkedIn, and ZipRecruiter. Posting that job, we'll put it out onto the careers page and all of those job boards. And you can assign forms to jobs the same way you would build an application in CATS. You can build out a custom form with a number of different questions on it. So that way the candidate has to answer certain questions before applying. We did go a little bit further with the forms feature. I'm kind of going off script a little bit, but I wanted to show how forms work because they are a pretty cool feature. When you're building a form, you have the option to um, add different things in between sections. So, after maybe right ahead of work history or something, I want to add a text block or something saying, please enter your work history below. Some people like to add, instructions for an application. So the ability to add text blocks or add things like section titles is a really cool way to kind of break up the form a little bit and, make it a little less daunting for somebody, or, like I said, giving instructions or EEO information, legal information, whatever you want to put into your text block, you can do there. So yeah, that's kind of how those forms would work. Let's go back to a job. I did say I was going to show off the AI a little bit, so I'll go into adding a job here. Adding a job, you've done this 100 times. It's very similar to CAT. So all we really need is the title. So you can come in and kind of say, okay, Java programmer there. We can find a company, or we could create a company on the fly. And then the AI is kind of found over here in the job description. I'm not going to do it on the fly here because I haven't put enough into the job itself to generate a good job description, but this gives you an idea of what you can include and what you kind of feed into the AI in order to generate that job description. So any benefits, remote options, years of experience, education requirements, certifications, all that type of thing would get put into the job description kind of automatically there. So it is a pretty cool feature. Like I said, it's in beta right now, so I'm a little hesitant to do it live in a webinar, especially since I haven't really put anything in this description or compensation or anything. One thing I wanted to point out, though, this is something that is a lot better than the current functionality in CATS, is kind of the whole compensation portion of it. You can have minimum and maximum compensations, and then you can have the advertised compensation. So that's what's actually going to be published if you decide to publish that. And then fee percentages, or just a flat fee. So that's going to kind of calculate on the fly for you, what your commission would be for that job. So if I have $60,000 to $80,000, is that enough zeros? I think it was 60 and 80. Too many, one too many. And then do a percentage, maybe 20%. It would go ahead and then calculate that percent for you as soon as I go here and I save the job. So um, this is a way to kind of track financial information in a little bit better way than what CATS does. And this will obviously all then roll up into a placement. When you place a candidate, we actually have you fill out a short placement form. So that's something that is another big benefit to the new platform that CATS has always kind of struggled with, is, what do you do with your placements? How do you measure your placements? And how do you track, the amount of money you've made so far? So if I go to a pipeline here, I'll go find somebody that's maybe a good fit for a placement. This person, let's see, Empress McKenzie, will go to offer. And then if I go to their record, I can place them too. That is a small bug with the software right now where I actually can't place it from the pipeline. But if I placed her from her record, you can see we have an automation ready to go. And then we have a placement form that pops up that's ready to fill out. So when that comes up, it basically just takes that information from the job, if it's available, and it asks me to kind of fill out this placement form. So I can put in pay rates, I can put in margins and markups. Start date, we'll say starting today. Well, we'll say starting next Monday, and then if it's a split placement, we can choose to do that there, and with it and who it's with. When I hit save, then I missed a field, didn't I? Let's see, $10. $20 an hour, hit save. And now it is asking me to update the work history. So this is really nice. You don't have to go into that record and then add this new employer. We're going to kind of create a new employer and mark it as their current employer. And then I can go in and update the record. I can say, when they left, um, and update the status of the candidate to placed then. So if I hit update record, it's going to kind of go in. And then finally, it's going to ask me to update the job. So I could go ahead and mark that job as filled right now, or maybe keep it open, or keep it as, an active contract. This is a nice way for contract staffing to work. We can kind of, you know, quickly see who you have on active contract, what jobs you're working, and all of that fun stuff. So I'll go ahead and click update record, and it's going to kind of close the job then and mark Mackenzie as placed. And then after that, we will see that, the work history and everything was updated. So it's very bottom here. Now she's kind of, marked as currently employed at that company we just placed her for. So that is kind of a person record and a job record. Companies are pretty straightforward. Companies are just your clients and they are related to jobs. Doesn't really need much explanation there. Just going through my list here to make sure I've kind of looked at everything I wanted to look at with a person and a job. Maybe it's a good time to take a quick look at questions and see what we have coming in. Let's see. Will the new platform include sourcing and enriching capability? Yes, it will. We have a browser extension the same as the CATS browser extension. We also have a number of integrations we're working with. One of them is Source Whale that will do kind of those automatic sourcing and enriching. A couple other ones too that I can't think of off the top of my head. I think we are going to be integrating with Zoom Info really soon. I know that's a really popular one for grabbing contact information, phone numbers, and emails. So yes, good question. Sourcing and kind of data enrichment is definitely a huge part of it, and we have big plans to integrate with those and then build more things in, obviously, as well. So let's see. One cool thing about this software here is the planner. As I was saying, kind of everything in the software is an activity. So you can log activities with somebody, but the best way to do it would be to schedule an activity to have it show up on your planner. So this with automations is a really easy way for you to change a candidate status to something like phone screen and have an automatic activity get scheduled for the next phone screen call and have it show up on your planner then. And the planner is filterable, so you can come in and maybe you only want to see yours or you want to see other people's planners. You can come in and filter by user. You can also filter by activity types. So if some of these really don't make sense for them to be on your planner, you can come in and get rid of those. So yeah, that's something that we've always heard that CATS, CATS has the calendar, but it doesn't really have kind of like a to-do list or upcoming activities. So the planner is a really cool feature there for business development and candidate follow-ups and everything. We also have a really nice email dashboard. We will be showing bounces, unsubscribes, delivery rates. This is also where you can manage your templates. You can manage email aliases if you want to send from a different email. This is also where you can control your email signatures and all of those things. So email dashboard is a really useful tool to make sure that people are receiving your emails and not going to spam or anything like that. So then lastly, we have reports. So reports are kind of generated by you. You can come in and kind of click the plus sign to create a new report. So you can report on various activities. You can report on a specific pipeline. You can also make reports on placements. So if you want to, we have someone here, example, total placements. I can click on that report and see, all of the placements we've made. I can see details about that. We've got 20 total. Obviously, this being a test site, some of this data is going to be a little funky. Hopefully you're not taking 398 days to fill a job, but it kind of breaks down all of the placements into different types and then the total fees and the total, commission that you're making. So you can basically just hit here to update that report. If you want to leave, you can go ahead and leave, and then we'll give you a notification as soon as that report's done. You can see I've got this notification here. My report's ready to view. So it basically just goes and it updates the report for you. So something that CATS lacks a little bit is these reporting capabilities. So we basically opened it up and let you kind of generate your own reports. So you can choose, which users you want to report on, what activity types you want to report on, the time frame, and then if you want to share that with anybody, you can share it and then kind of generate and run the report there. So something that's been missing in cats for a while, and I think the new platform does a pretty good job with giving you the tools to kind of generate your own reports. Let's see here. I'm just going to go to the settings page and kind of leave it open. Maybe it'll generate some questions, but I'm going to kind of read through some of these questions here while you guys kind of take a look at behind the scenes here. Thank you guys so much for attending. I'm going to see if there's any other questions that we want to answer before we wrap up. But if you don't have any other questions, you can feel free to take off. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just take a look really quick here. Customer service phone number. Yes, absolutely. That is found back in the software here. If I just click the get my webinar thing out of the way. Click this sidebar open to open it up and then click the question mark. That is the phone number right there. And it's just extension 2 for support. We have a lot of resources here for training. You can schedule training or join one of our live trainings, help center article, getting started guide with training videos and everything. But yes, phone support is available, and I know that's going to be a big hit for a lot of you. So great question. I'm happy to point that out to you guys again because it is a really nice addition. And when will this platform become live? Well, it is live right now. We are moving all of the big biller customers to it this year. As far as a timeline for CATS customers, we're still probably a year away. Some of you we might approach to move sooner, but those are going to be kind of low usage customers, people that aren't really using a lot of parts of CATS that we feel like they can just quickly move into here pretty easily. But if you again, I'm going to keep harping on becoming an early adopter and joining and giving us feedback. So, you could try this out tomorrow if you wanted to. So yeah, we will definitely be in touch, and thank you all for the questions. I think I've got most of it here. Yeah, it looks like questions have kind of died off, and I feel like I answered most of them. So that is all I've got for you guys today. This was a long one, but hopefully it was helpful for you. Hopefully we answered some questions. And like I said, we'll be in contact shortly. And thank you all again.